Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into the roaring 20s, the jazz age, and, well, the whole tangled world of one of America's greatest novels. Our source is F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, and we're really focusing on those crucial early chapters, trying to pull out the key insights.
That's right. We'll be looking at Nick Carraway, his initial take on things, which is often pretty ironic when you look back.
Yeah.
And the shocking reality behind all that East Coast glamour, and of course, the origins of Gatsby himself. He's such an enigma.
Totally.
Basically, our mission is to give you a clearer, sharper handle on this classic story.
So if you've ever wanted to really get the vibe of West Egg, or understand what that green light is all about, or just grasp the flaws in these characters, you're definitely in the right place. Okay, let's dive in. So we start with our narrator, Nick Carraway. He lands in West Egg, and he's carrying this piece of advice from his father.
Yeah. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had.
Which sounds good on paper. He even says he makes a habit of reserving all judgments.
Right. But he admits pretty quickly that this tolerance has its limits.
He does.
And what's fascinating is how that initial idea, not judging, immediately kind of clashes with the world he steps into. It's morally murky, to say the least.
Murky is a good word for it. It makes you ask, doesn't it? Like, can you actually stay neutral when you're surrounded by that?
Yeah.
Or does just watching inevitably make you form an opinion?
That's the core question, I think. Fitzgerald seems to suggest that true neutrality, especially in the face of that kind of moral decay, might just be impossible. Observation leads to judgment.
It feels like Nick tries, but the stuff he sees just pulls him in. Objectivity doesn't really stand a chance there.
Exactly. So his move east is key. He ends up in West Egg, described as the less fashionable of the two eggs.
Right. West Egg, new money. East Egg, old money.
Precisely. And his place, this little weather-beaten cardboard bungalow,
Yeah.
$80 a month. It's an eyesore, he says.
It's right next door to Gatsby's place.
Which gives him that consoling proximity of millionaires. And Gatsby's mansion is, well, huge. A factual imitation of some Hotel de Ville in Normandy. Over the top.
So the geography itself is almost a character right away, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Showing that class divide, the whole new money versus old money tension, it sets the stage perfectly. And then, that first night, Nick sees Gatsby. Just a figure in the shadows of this huge house.
Reaching out.
Yeah, stretching his arms towards the water, towards a single green light across the bay. It's such a powerful image.
It really is. It basically tells you everything about Gatsby right there, reaching for something distant, something maybe unattainable, that green glow.
Okay, so Nick's first real social event is heading over to East Egg. Old money territory.
Right, to see his cousin Daisy Buchanan and her husband Tom.
Tom. Let's talk about Tom. He's introduced as incredibly wealthy, used to be a big football star at Yale. Powerful end.
Yeah, but Fitzgerald notes that he peaked at 21, and everything since then savors of anticlimax.
Ouch. That explains a lot, maybe. He brings his polo ponies from Lake Forest, flashing the cash, but he seems restless.
Yeah.
Deeply restless.
And profoundly arrogant. That early peak seems to feed his insecurity, which comes out as this aggressive entitlement. He's got that gruff, husky tenor voice.
And his beliefs are just, wow. He was worried about the white race being utterly submerged.
Yeah, quoting that book, The Rise of the Colored Empires, and insisting it's all scientific.
It's chilling. It immediately paints him as this powerful but really unpleasant and dangerous figure. Does peaking early excuse that, though, or just explain it?
Oh, it definitely doesn't excuse it. Not at all. But it gives us insight into maybe why he's like that, the insecurity under the surface.
Right, okay. And then there's Daisy.
Daisy. Captivating, but also troubling. Fitzgerald focuses so much on her voice.
Her voice, yeah. Low, thrilling, with a singing compulsion. And later Gatsby says,
her voice is full of money.
Exactly. It's like her voice is her social status.
And she says she's paralyzed with happiness, which sounds weird.
It sounds completely fake. And then that awful thing she says about her daughter.
Oh, yeah. Hoping she'll be a fool. That's the best thing a girl can be in this world, a beautiful little fool.
It's just devastating, isn't it?
It really is.
It shows how cynical she is, how disillusioned. Like, ignorance is the only way to survive in her world.
Yeah. And Nick picks up on her insincerity later, that absolute smirk. He feels like the whole evening is just a performance, a trick.
And then the phone rings during dinner.
Right. The interruption. Tom's affair, just out there.
And Jordan Baker, the golfer, she just casually confirms it. Tom's got some woman in New York.
Adds another layer of unease. Or maybe just casual corruption to this whole scene.
Okay, so from the pristine lawns of East Egg, Fitzgerald takes us somewhere completely different.
The Valley of Ashes.
Yeah, this grim industrial wasteland, a fantastic farm of dust and decay.
Watched over by those eyes.
The giant eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg on the billboard, just staring.
It's here Nick meets Myrtle Wilson, Tom's mistress, at her husband George's garage.
And George is described as spiritless, anemic, just totally faded out.
Which makes the contrast with Myrtle even stronger. She has this immediately perceptible vitality. It's striking.
She walks right through George as if he were a ghost.
Yeah, it sets up this dynamic immediately. Power, desire, dissatisfaction. She wants out.
And then we see her transformation later in the New York apartment Tom keeps for the affair.
Right, she puts on that fancy dress, the elaborate afternoon dress of cream-colored chiffon.
And suddenly her whole personality changes. Her laugh, her gestures, they become violently affected, like she's playing a part.
It makes you wonder, right, is that change real? Or is it just her trying on the persona she thinks fits with Tom, with that richer world, a performance?
It feels like a performance, like she's trying desperately to be someone else.
But in that apartment scene, it's like a pressure cooker. You've got Myrtle's sister, Catherine, and the McKee's, he's a photographer. She's described as shrill, languid, handsome, and horrible.
Quite the description.
Isn't it? And the gossip is flying. Wild rumors about Gatsby. He's related to Kaiser Wilhelm. He killed someone.
Just total nonsense, but it shows how little people actually know and how much they speculate.
And the casual lies, too. Like Catherine saying Daisy's Catholic, so Tom can't get a divorce.
Yeah, just a complete fabrication to cover things up. It shows the kind of moral slipperiness of everyone involved.
Even Myrtle reveals why she married George. She thought he was a gentleman. Then found out he had to borrow a suit for their wedding.
Another layer of disillusionment. She thought she was marrying up, but wasn't.
Exactly. Everyone seems to be reaching for something they can't quite grasp, and the whole thing just gets uglier, more whiskey, more tension.
Until Tom. Well, until Tom breaks Myrtle's nose.
Yeah, just snaps.
Yeah.
Because she keeps saying Daisy's name. Daisy, Gazy, and then crack.
It's brutal. Just raw violence simmering right under the surface of all this supposed sophistication.
It really is. It's not just physical violence either. It's Tom asserting his power, crushing anyone who challenges him, especially Myrtle challenging his wife's position, even just by name.
Chilling. Okay, shifting gears again. Gatsby's parties.
Ah, the legendary parties.
Yeah, total spectacles. Fitzgerald says, men and girls came and went like moths through his blue gardens.
Fueled by endless champagne and music, and famously, almost nobody was actually invited.
People just went there, which is kind of amazing.
But Nick gets a formal invitation, which is rare. Makes him stand out a bit.
Right.
But the parties themselves are almost secondary to the rumors about Gatsby. That's what really fuels the fascination, isn't it?
Definitely. German spy, killer, bootlegger. Nobody knows.
And they don't seem to care that much. They know nothing whatever about him, but they still flock there. The mystery is part of the allure.
So Nick goes to a party, finally gets his invitation, and his first encounter with Gatsby is kind of accidental.
Almost anticlimactic in a way. He's in the library first.
The library, right.
Yeah.
And he meets that guy, Owl Eyes.
Yeah, the drunk guy who's amazed the books are real.
Absolutely real. Have pages and everything. He expected nice, durable cardboard.
It's such a great detail. It speaks volumes about Gatsby's whole setup, doesn't it? Even the library feels like part of the stage dressing. But surprise, it's actually real, sort of.
A facade with real elements. Yeah. And then Nick starts talking to someone.
Not realizing it's Gatsby himself.
Yeah. Gatsby has this incredible smile, rare smiles, with a quality of eternal reassurance.
Yeah.
Like it instantly makes you feel validated.
An irresistible prejudice in your favor. But Nick also notices his speech is too formal.
Elaborate formality of speech just missed being absurd.
Yeah. Nick feels like Gatsby is picking his words with care, like he's constantly performing.
So the big question is, how much of this is real? Who is he performing for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jordan Baker, who Gatsby pulls aside for this secret chat, she later tells Nick she doesn't buy the whole Oxford man story. More mystery.
Okay, so who was he? Before the mansion, before the parties, Fitzgerald eventually pulls back the curtain.
He does. We learn his real name was James Gatz from North Dakota.
And at 17, he just reinvents himself, changes his name, springs from his Platonic conception of himself.
Wow. He saw himself as a son of God, dedicated to serving this idea vast, vulgar, and meretricious beauty.
It's quite a mission statement for a 17-year-old.
It really is. And his early life, digging clams, fishing, then meeting Dan Cody.
Ah, Dan Cody, the millionaire yachtsman, the pioneer debauchee.
Right. On Lake Superior, Cody becomes his mentor, in a way, and Gatsby becomes, well, everything to Cody. Steward, mate, skipper, secretary.
Even jailer, to keep Cody from his worst impulses, presumably.
Exactly. And Fitzgerald calls this Gatsby's singularly appropriate education. It also explains why Gatsby himself drinks so little. He saw firsthand what excess did to Cody.
That makes sense. So Cody leaves Gatsby money, $25,000.
He does, but Gatsby never sees it. Cody's mistress, Ella Kay, manages to get it through some legal device.
So he gets nothing material from Cody in the end.
Nothing material but the experience. It shapes him profoundly. It prepares him for the wealth he'll eventually get.
And connecting this back, all of it, right?
Yeah.
The mansion, the parties, the purposeless splendor, as Fitzgerald calls it.
Yeah.
It all had one purpose.
One single purpose. Daisy.
Daisy Fay, who he met 5 years earlier when he was a young, penniless officer.
He bought that specific mansion because it was across the bay from her.
Just so she would be. Yeah. Right there. He even read the Chicago papers for years hoping to see her name. The vacation's kind of staggering.
It's immense. Obsessive, really.
So the reunion, arranged by Nick, the tension beforehand is crazy.
Gatsby is a wreck, pale, sleepless.
He's so nervous he knocks over Nick's clock.
Right, and he awkwardly tries to offer Nick a business deal, sideline.
Yeah, that confidential sort of thing, his gonna-get-ation with Meyer Wolf time, which Nick turns down.
It just shows how desperate Gatsby is, right? To impress Nick, maybe? To make sure everything is perfect for Daisy?
Totally desperate. But then, during the actual meeting, after the initial awkwardness, he just transforms.
He starts glowing with well-being once Daisy gets over her embarrassment.
And the tour of the mansion, that's where Daisy breaks down.
Oh, with the shirts.
The beautiful shirts. He throws them all out, these amazing shirts from England, and she just starts crying stormily.
Saying it makes her sad because I've never seen such beautiful shirts before.
It's such a strange, powerful moment. It's not really about the shirts, is it?
Not at all. It's her reaction to seeing the sheer scale of his wealth, tangible proof of what he's become, and she knows, instinctively, it's all been done for her.
Yeah. The power of all that money made real in a pile of shirts.
Exactly. And then Gatsby points out the green light again, across the bay at her dock.
Finally explaining what it meant to him all this time.
But now, he says its colossal significance had now vanished forever.
Wow. So achieving the dream kind of destroys the dream.
It seems so. The reality can't live up to the fantasy he'd built around that light. A really poignant, almost tragic moment, even in his supposed triumph.
Okay, things escalate. The heat of summer rises, tensions boil over, leading to that confrontation at the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah, it's brutally hot. Everyone's on edge. And Tom finally goes after Gatsby.
He questions the old sport thing, then launches his investigation. He's dug up dirt.
And he uses Meyer Wolfsheim to do it. Wolfsheim, the gambler who fixed the World Series, the guy with cufflinks made of...
human molars. Ugh.
Right. Tom reveals Gatsby's drugstore business is just a front for bootlegging grain alcohol, and that Gatsby let another guy, Walter Chase, take the fall.
It pulls back the curtain on where the money really came from. Seedy stuff.
But the absolute core of it all is Gatsby demanding Daisy say the words.
Tell him you never loved him.
He needs her to erase the past completely, but she can't.
She breaks down. I did love him once, but I loved you too. Tears streaming.
And that's it. The fatal blow to Gatsby's whole illusion. His dream just shatters right there.
It's heartbreaking for him. But it raises that question, doesn't it? Can you really repeat the past? Erase love?
Fitzgerald seems to say no. Daisy's inability to fully commit to his fantasy, plus Tom's cynical reminders of their shared history. It just highlights how impossible Gatsby's quest really was.
And Tom twists the knife, calling Gatsby a common swindler who'd have to steal a ring for her finger. Pure class snobbery.
Vicious stuff. And then immediately after this explosion, tragedy strikes.
Myrtle Wilson, running out into the road, hit by Gatsby's yellow car, killed instantly.
A shocking, violent turn, and Nick figures it out pretty quickly.
It was Daisy driving.
But Gatsby says he'll take the blame. The ultimate romantic gesture, maybe, or just caught in the momentum of protecting her.
And the aftermath is just devastatingly revealing about Tom and Daisy.
Yeah. Nick sees them later that night, through the window, sitting at the kitchen table.
Conspiring together over cold chicken.
With this unmistakable air of natural intimacy, like they're closing ranks, united in their carelessness.
While Gatsby is outside keeping watch, watching over nothing, still clinging to that hope that's already gone.
It's such a stark contrast, their casual retreat back into their wealth versus his lonely, pointless vigil.
So Gatsby dies. George Wilson, Myrtle's husband, finds him, shoots him, then kills himself. And the aftermath of Gatsby's death, it's just empty.
Painfully empty. Nick tries to organize a funeral, tries to get people to come.
And nobody wants to know. Meyer Wolfsheim, nope. Says he doesn't like to get mixed up when someone gets killed.
Unbelievable. This guy who was supposedly his partner.
And Clip Springer, the guy who basically lived at Gatsby's house all summer. The boarder.
He calls, yeah, but only to ask about his tennis shoes he left behind.
It's pathetic. It really makes you wonder, right? What did all those parties mean, all those connections, if this is the end result?
It shows how shallow, how transactional all those relationships really were. Hundreds came to his parties, but in death, he's abandoned.
Who actually comes to the funeral?
Almost no one. Nick, Gatsby's father, Henry C. Gatz, who comes from Minnesota.
Ah, his father.
Yeah, a solemn old man. And he brings Gatsby's old book from when he was a boy.
The one with the schedule written inside.
That's the one. This list of self-improvement goals: dumbbell exercise and wall scaling, study electricity, practice elocution, save $3 per week.
Be better to parents.
It's so poignant. This little list from James Gatz, the ambitious kid, compared to the huge, corrupt, wealth, and tragic end of Jay Gatsby.
It shows that original drive, doesn't it, before it all got twisted, that desire to improve, to be better.
Exactly. It's heartbreaking. And Owl shows up, too, the guy from the library.
He does.
Yeah, just him, Nick, and Mr. Gatz. And Owl just looks at the grave and says,
The poor son of a bitch.
Yeah, sums it up, really.
So Nick's own journey is coming to an end here, too. He has that final awkward conversation with Jordan Baker.
Right. She accuses him of being careless, a rotten driver in relationships, says he threw me over.
It challenges Nick's view of himself, his secret pride in being honest. Maybe he wasn't as detached as he thought.
Perhaps not. And then the final confrontation with Tom.
That really seals Nick's disillusionment with the East, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Tom admits he told George Wilson that the yellow car belonged to Gatsby.
Basically sending Wilson after him, pointing the finger.
And Tom feels zero remorse. He justifies it. Says Gatsby had it coming to him. He ran over Myrtle like a dog, Tom claimed.
The sheer nerve. The complete lack of responsibility. It's staggering.
And this leads Nick to his final, devastating judgment on Tom and Daisy. The big takeaway.
They were careless people, Tom and Daisy.
They smashed up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money or their vast carelessness or whatever it was that kept them together and let other people clean up the mess they had made.
That line just hits so hard. It's the ultimate indictment, isn't it? Of their privilege, their entitlement, and the destruction they leave behind.
It really is the moral center of Nick's realization, the true cost of their lifestyle.
So Nick leaves. He goes back west, back to the Midwest. He can't stomach the East anymore.
Haunted by it all. He goes back to Gatsby's empty, overgrown house one last time.
And thinks about that green light again. Daisy's dock. Gatsby's dream.
Now loaded with all this tragic meaning. The symbol of hope, aspiration, illusion, and ultimately failure.
So this deep dive into Gatsby, it really lays bare this world of incredible wealth, but also deep illusion and, well, tragedy.
Ambition as a driving force, but also a destructive one. The danger of trying to recapture an idealized past.
We've tracked Nick's journey, too, from trying to be objective to becoming completely disillusioned.
Yeah, and seen how all these characters' flaws and desires are just tangled up with their environment. Fitzgerald uses every little detail, a voice, a shirt, a light, to build his critique.
Gatsby believed in that orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. That hope.
But Nick's final thought is much bleaker, isn't it? So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past.
That image is just unforgettable. It makes you think, what does it say about our own dreams, our own struggles against the current, maybe against our own past? Are we all just beating on, getting pulled back?
It's a powerful, lingering question. Leaves you thinking long after you finish the book.